Hi Verse, it's your girl KZ here today to give you guys another video. Welcome back Verse, that's right, I'm KZ today. Again, I'm still gender fluid guys, so I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. So I was just here today, it's Monday, it's a good day, and I decided, you know what, let's do another video. I know it's been a minute, I'm so sorry. I was having some camera trouble. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I kept having done some other videos before, but then the frame kept freezing. I don't understand why. Luckily, I resolved it, and now I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about SheHulk. Oh my god, Verse, SheHulk. There is a lot to talk about. It is getting bombed left and right as you've seen. There are some platforms that are trying to defend the show. I don't know why, even though it's obvious that it's bad. And just so you guys know, I've seen episode 1. It was bad. I'm not just here trying to say that it's bad just because everyone else is saying it's bad. No, I have my own personal opinions on it too. And there are some few things that I like about episode 1, but not a lot. There's not a lot to like in that episode. Trust me, it shows right away. There are problems with this episode immediately. So, with that said though, Verse, I did go online. I found an article on Screen Rant talking about this, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. So, with that said though, Verse, let's get to it. Alright Verse, so here on Screen Rant, why SheHulk is being review bombed harder than Ms. Marvel. Just like what happened with the previous Disney Plus Marvel Studios show Ms. Marvel, SheHulk has been review bombed on IMDb with 1-star reviews. The newest Disney Plus Marvel series SheHulk, Attorney at Law, is being review bombed on IMDb, and the percentage of 1-star reviews for SheHulk is much higher than it was for previous review bombed MCU projects like Ms. Marvel. Continuing Marvel Studios' post-Avengers Endgame strategy, the Disney Plus platform is once again being used to introduce a new Marvel character into the MCU, SheHulk. The same strategy that has been previously used in Ms. Marvel and Moon Knight, but Disney Plus Marvel series are speaking of a level of criticism that often involves not just complaints about the shows, but about the MCU as a whole. In addition to a significant amount of bad faith reviews, considering how a lot of Disney Plus Marvel shows have been criticized for being too similar in terms of structure, as in the number of episodes the secret villain reveals and the CG-filled third acts. It would seem that SheHulk would be well received for its originality. While SheHulk is not exactly Deadpool, the idea of placing Jennifer Walters in a fourth wall breaking 30-minute comedy sounded like a perfect way to introduce SheHulk into the MCU, not to mention, it would offer something unique to the franchise. Now, SheHulk Episode 1 delivered exactly what had been promised. Marvel Studios' first comedy series that combines law drama with some old superhero tropes. However, that did not avoid SheHulk from being review bombed on IMDb. Okay, Verse. So, my thoughts on SheHulk. It's bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not just going to call it it's bad because it's easy to say it's bad and why. It is just a bad show. The trailer came out, it looked terrible. The second trailer came out, it looked a little better. You know, my reaction gave away too. It did look a little better. But when watching episode 1, it was bad. There were problems with SheHulk as it is. I don't know how this episode even got approved the way how it was. I know Kevin Feige watches all this stuff in order for him to approve it. I mean, sometimes he even demands things to be in certain shows or movies because that's what he wants. And sometimes it's smart and sometimes it's just stupid. You know, he's been making some really bad decisions lately, and SheHulk is one of them. And this does anger me because I don't want to put this show down just because it's a female superhero show. No way. The character of SheHulk in the comics, she's a badass right off the bat. That's the thing. As a lawyer, she's a great lawyer. You know, if a guy tries to make fun of her or push her down, she'll make him look like an idiot. That's SheHulk in general. You know, she's very confident, she's a badass, and she doesn't even need to be a Hulk to be a confident person. She just is, from some comics that I've read. And here in the show, they do the complete opposite. She's all quirky, she's all nerdy, she's very whiny too. I wasn't expecting that for the character of SheHulk. Here, right away from the show, she starts complaining a lot about her job, she complains about herself, she even complains about other issues where I'm just like, you know, that could have been avoided if you just spoken up, and that could have been avoided if you just kind of do this instead of that. A lot of these problems, when you think about it, she kind of causes it on herself. I don't really know why. And then she just complains the majority of the movie, the episode, I'm sorry. I just don't know why they really thought that we would find She-Hulk very, very related for her whining. No, that's not why we want to watch She-Hulk for. And then immediately it hit me. I was thinking about it and I was like, oh, I see what they're doing. They're doing a character arc. If you don't know what a character arc is, basically they make a character become one way, whiny, you know, maybe not skillful or a particular type of way. And then after a few episodes or maybe later on in the movie, you know, story-wise in general, then that character obviously changes, learns some lessons, becomes much more skillful, learns the value of something else, yada yada yada. You know, they're doing your generic character arc. And I'm like, oh, immediately I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing. But it doesn't help right away because She-Hulk right off the bat is just unlikable. And then the fourth wall break. Immediately I thought, oh, are they trying to do a Deadpool type of thing? Because I don't really see the reason for them to do that. No, in the comics she actually does do that. I found out through my friend that no, she actually does break the fourth wall quite a few times. I didn't come across that from some of the comics that I read, but I was like, oh, okay. And it's fine. It works sometimes, but other times it's kind of like, stop. Like, go back to your show, please. Go back to your terrible show that nobody asked for. And when it comes down to the rest of the show as it goes on, when watching the show, there's a scene when she's talking to Bruce Banner. A sequence that I liked where Bruce Banner explains how he's able to be human again. He puts the device on his hand. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, at least that explains how he's able to go back. But then they start talking about Captain America. And then they start talking about, oh, has he been with any girl? Like, is he a virgin? And then immediately I was thinking about it and I was like, are you trying to make fun of the old characters? Why are you bringing in all these lame-ass characters and you're trying to make fun of the old one? Why are we doing that? It seems kind of random. Why are we making fun of Captain America when he was the icon of a lot of the movies that were in phase 1 to 3? You know, it's Captain America. Why are we making jabs at him? And then, yeah, you know, just so you know, in this show there are your standard woke feminism jokes towards men, and they're very eye-rolling. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if you're someone that really can't stand that, you're really gonna be annoyed. I don't try to put too much focus on that. I try not to, but it's so in your face. In the beginning of the show, she gets catcalled a lot. Apparently it's constant, and I'm just like, okay. I'm like, no, I don't buy that. Immediately she starts talking about how you want me to be afraid or angry, but then again, that's like the majority of 70% of women or something like that. And I was like, what? I was like, move on. Just move on. I was like, please move on, for God's sakes. You know, She-Hulk and Hulk have a little bit of a training sequence. I was really surprised at how quick it came and went. I thought something like that would maybe last like, what, 2-3 episodes? Instead, no, it comes, it goes, and then there's this one scene which is what everyone's talking about, which is the heart-to-heart between Bruce Banner and She-Hulk. Bruce tells the side of things of how he handles his anger, despite the fact that he's been through a lot. He went through physical abuse, mental abuse, his father killed his mother apparently. I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that. Obviously, he mentioned this a few times where he also went through, you know, the cope of trying to deal with suicide because he couldn't handle a lot of what was going on with the Hulk. He tried to kill himself, and even in the first Avengers movie, he talks about how that Hulk would come out and spit the bullet out that he tried to kill himself with. So you're just like, oh yeah, you know, Bruce Banner has been through a lot. Like, okay, you can see why he's trying to tell her, learn how to cope with your anger, because, you know, sometimes our feelings can get the best of us, so try to work with it. Her response, oh my god, her response is, first of all, I do cope with a lot of things, okay? I get catcalled a lot on a daily basis, okay? I work for attorneys who are men who don't even take me seriously, who think I am a joke. So yeah, you know, I have a lot more tolerance than you. And she didn't say it exactly like that, but when she did that, I was like, wow. So let me get this straight. So you're going to compare your situation of getting catcalled and dealing with shitty bosses, which is a majority of what every person who has a job, and you're going to compare that to somebody who's gone through suicidal thoughts, who's also dealt with physical and mental abuse, who's saved the world how many times, and you're going to compare that to this? Why was this approved? I just don't understand. Karen Feige literally saw this and was like, yeah, it's fine. If the haters start to say anything about it, it's fine. But just to be cautious, add Daredevil. By the way, if you're here for Daredevil, please don't use that as an excuse to watch this show. People have already come out who had the show ahead of time, literally said that within the first 4 episodes, Daredevil doesn't even show up. So, if you're looking forward to seeing Daredevil, it's a high possibility he's either going to show within the last, 2-3 episodes, or he literally won't be here till the very last minute. Or if he does come in the middle of the show, he'll probably come for a quick second and he'll be gone. I can already guarantee you, Daredevil might not be in the show that much as people are hoping to be. So if you have high expectations of using it as an excuse, please don't. It's not gonna matter. The show's bad in general. It's just not that good. And then moving on to the fight scene. This fight scene that happens in the end, oh my god. So She-Hulk goes back to living her life, trying to be an attorney again. She's in this courtroom. This girl comes out of nowhere, breaks through a wall. She-Hulk, I swear, goes through one of the lamest, cringiest, quickest fights I've ever seen being produced by Marvel. I couldn't believe what I saw. Literally, she turns into She-Hulk. She complains about her clothes. And then when she gets ready to fight this girl, all they do is throw a desk at each other. And then this girl tries to do a Bruce Lee flying kick from one side of the room to the other. She stays in this pose for a few seconds. She-Hulk does a punch. She's all, yeah, with the camera. And then after she knocks this girl out with just one punch, that's all it took, then this friend of hers puts down her high heels. She walks to her high heels with this cringy music in the background. And she's all, oh. And then she puts on her jacket and she's like, I'm ready for my next statement. And I was like, what the I couldn't believe it. They actually wrote that. So these writers, I don't know if they're male or female, I don't really care. All I know is that they are terrible writers. They actually put that together and was like, yeah, it works. Why? Wouldn't it make sense for her to bust into the wall? You're like, uh-oh, something's about to go down, and then you save that for the beginning of the next episode, and it would have been fine if it was short because you have more coming in right after. Why would you do that in the end of the first episode just to see She-Hulk in action? Because not much really happened. The fight was maybe 30 seconds to a minute. It was that short, and it was very cringy with what they were trying to do. The choreograph was like, oh, you're watching Bruce Lee. Okay, so we're gonna do a flying kick. We can add that in there, yeah, with high heels. And I couldn't believe what I just saw. I saw that and I was like, what the heck? What am I watching? Kevin Feige, this is your vision? You really think this shit's great? People are roasting this online. As you guys saw, like I said, it's getting bad reviews. I could see why. Here's the thing too. I don't care to watch the rest of the show. I really don't. Their shows are very hit and miss. It's true. The Disney Plus shows are really, really struggling. Their CGI is very questionable. And then you're just like, okay, wow, it wasn't that great. I heard the complaints about that with Moonlight. I heard complaints about that obviously with Miss Marvel. I watched Miss Marvel a little bit because I was curious about it. And yeah, it definitely has its missteps for sure. You watch She-Hulk right away, and right off the bat, it has problems. You're just like, wow, why did they make this? Did you really have to put these types of jokes and all this feminism in it? Was it really worth it just for you to do that? You can make a She-Hulk show without doing all that. I just can't believe that this was approved. It's ridiculous that this actually went through. But yeah, unfortunately, some people like it. There are people that just assume, oh, because this Marvel is great. No, it's not. I made that more than clear. No, it is not. This is proof, ladies and gentlemen. This is proof. It's like, if it continues on to be as bad as it was as episode 1, this could be one of those projects where it's so bad, it's good. I mean, you know what I mean, okay? But other than that though, first, I don't know how people will react to my comments on this. I mean, it's true. I explained why I think it was bad. Clearly, it's not just me. The majority of the internet hates this show. I don't know why major platforms are in denial about this. When I saw that score on Rotten Tomato, 94%, I was like, what show are you watching? I was like, because I think you got the score mixed up for someone else. That's ridiculous. Get your facts in order. How the hell is Rotten Tomatoes still up there when they do stuff like this? Unless you're getting paid off or something. I don't know. Other than that, lovers, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys disagree with me? Let me know. I'd be happy to hear. So with that said, lovers, if you guys like what you saw, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification for more content as always. Look forward to the next video, verse. And with that said, have a wonderful day. And yeah, let's just see what happens from here. Later, verse. Oh my goodness.